Buddhist philosophy, a path to liberation and enlightenment. Buddhist philosophy offers a deep and profound understanding of human existence, suffering, and the path to liberation, rooted in the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha. Buddhist philosophy emphasizes the nature of suffering, the impermanence of life, and the path to enlightenment. The Four Noble Truths at the heart of Buddhist philosophy are the Four Noble Truths, which serve as a guide to understanding the nature of suffering and how to overcome it. The first noble truth is the recognition of suffering, or dukkha, which is an inherent part of life. Suffering arises from various sources, including birth, aging, illness, death, and the impermanence of all things. The second noble truth points to the cause of suffering, which is tanha, or craving. Our desires and attachments to things, experiences, and even our own identity create suffering because they are impermanent. We seek pleasure and avoid pain, but this attachment to desire leads to dissatisfaction and suffering. The third noble truth teaches that suffering can be overcome by eliminating craving. This is the essence of liberation, or nirvana. When we free ourselves from attachments and desires, we can experience true peace and freedom from suffering. The fourth noble truth is the path to the cessation of suffering, known as the Noble Eightfold Path. This path provides practical guidance on how to live a life that leads to liberation. It consists of right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Each aspect of the path contributes to the cultivation of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. The concept of impermanence, or anicca, is a central concept in Buddhist philosophy. Everything in the world is in a constant state of change. Nothing is permanent. All things, whether material or immaterial, are subject to decay, transformation, and eventual dissolution. This understanding of impermanence is crucial to Buddhist practice because it teaches us to let go of attachments and to embrace the transient nature of existence. By recognizing impermanence, we can begin to detach ourselves from our desires and attachments. When we understand that everything is in constant flux, we are less likely to hold on to things that cause suffering. This awareness allows us to cultivate equanimity, or mental calmness, in the face of life's inevitable changes. The interconnectedness of all things. Buddhism teaches that all things are interconnected. This concept, known as dependent origination or praticca-samuppada, explains that everything exists in relation to something else. Nothing exists independently. Everything is interdependent and constantly influenced by other factors. Our thoughts, actions, and even the very fabric of reality are shaped by a vast network of causes and conditions. Understanding the interconnectedness of all things encourages compassion and mindfulness in our daily lives. When we realize that our actions have a ripple effect on others and the world, we become more conscious of how we live and interact with the world around us. This interconnectedness fosters a sense of responsibility for our own actions and an understanding that the well-being of others is integral to our own happiness. The practice of meditation. Meditation is a central practice in Buddhism, serving as a tool for cultivating mindfulness, concentration, and insight. There are various forms of meditation in Buddhist philosophy, with two of the most important being samatha, calm abiding, and vipassana, insight. Samatha meditation focuses on calming the mind and developing concentration, while vipassana meditation involves the cultivation of insight into the nature of reality. Through meditation, practitioners develop a deep understanding of the mind and its patterns. Helps individuals become more aware of their thoughts, emotions, and reactions, which leads to greater control over the mind and a reduction in mental afflictions such as greed, hatred, and delusion. Meditation fosters inner peace and clarity, allowing individuals to experience the world as it truly is, free from the distortions of attachment and aversion. The path to enlightenment. The ultimate goal of Buddhist philosophy is enlightenment, or nirvana. Nirvana is the state of liberation from suffering, where one is free from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara. Enlightenment is the realization of the true nature of reality and the cessation of all cravings and attachments. Achieving enlightenment is not an easy task. It requires rigorous practice, self-discipline, and the cultivation of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. It is a gradual process that involves transforming the mind and heart, developing compassion, and letting go of the attachments that bind us to the cycle of suffering. Through the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path and meditation, individuals can progressively move toward the realization of enlightenment. The role of compassion and wisdom in Buddhism, compassion, karuna, and wisdom, prajna, are essential qualities that lead to enlightenment. Compassion involves recognizing the suffering of others and acting to alleviate it, while wisdom is the understanding of the true nature of reality. Both qualities are cultivated through meditation, ethical conduct, and mindfulness. Compassion is not merely an emotional response, but a deliberate act of helping others, especially in times of suffering. Wisdom, on the other hand, is the insight into the impermanent, interconnected, and selfless nature of all things. Qualities, when cultivated together, help individuals move closer to enlightenment and foster a deep sense of peace and harmony with all beings. The Middle Way Buddhism teaches the middle way, which is the path of moderation between extremes. The Buddha rejected both the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification, advocating for a balanced approach to life. The middle way is about finding harmony in all aspects of life, avoiding the extremes of attachment and aversion. This concept applies to all areas of life, including our relationships, work, and spiritual practice. The middle way encourages us to live mindfully and with balance, cultivating moderation in our desires and actions. By practicing the middle way, we can avoid the suffering caused by extremes and find peace and contentment in the present moment.